So one of the things that we were able to do in that sense was just be really clear to our team what the objective was, and the way we did that was we would spend a lot of time shooting and editing and reshooting previs, because what that did, it helped educate us.
Yes.
And the whole team, so they saw the results and they can have it on their phone and see where their place is. And because we had a core team of about would have about 50 people, but then when we come to when we actually shoot, we'd have 300 people.
Wow.
So we want to make sure that so what we knew here translated to when we get on set, when we involve all of our action extras or those extra talent. So having a process that gave the team, and so using our translators and using film language like excellent, awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all encouraging words to use, and it says no, go again, better.
I think what I imagine, because I haven't been working on it, but I've been working in China for quite a long time, and then I've been working with you before China, and what I learned from you the most, I think that got me more opportunities in China is the management and how to organize things very precisely. This is what we do in the West, and what China don't have that before. I mean the prep and the previous and all that. I think that's what they wanted from you is the management of the big work, the big scenes, also the process of it, and so I think what Wu Shan, I guess what is after from the Western filmmaking world is this system. So do you think that Fengshen has done well in that aspect at the end? So they've been learning that throughout the journey?
I hope what Fengshen does is enable the Chinese film community to know that a lot of what they need is already there.
Yeah.
And what production needs is permission for them to do things in a new way. We live in information technology. You and I are talking, and we've shared ideas over the past. And so what often most stunt coordinators need, and most stunt people need, and all creatives need, is permission to do the things that that they can do. Yes. And sometimes the easiest way to do that is to bring somebody from outside to help undo that. And but sometimes it's like family, isn't it? Sometimes the people that we struggle to is our own people, and we need to do that to our own people, to trust our own, because a lot of the Chinese team that I've worked with overseas with as well, and other parts, and they have knowledge, and the stuff that we did on Fengshen is stuff that we've done elsewhere.
Yes.
And so my encouragement is that yes. And sometimes it's having somebody like myself come in and just gets it going, and so like we had two teams. Yes. I was able to watch the full Chinese team do things, and it goes, oh, we'll do that way. And I'm sure they were doing that, and I realized that they were setting up. Some of the equipment was the same. After a while, I was borrowing some of their ideas and asking some of and that's what's required, because I think if you're just stuck to doing things one way, then you'll always end up making the movies that you've always made. And I think you grow your audience more, and I think our audience now is much more intelligent and smarter. Mm-hmm. They're more informed, and I think we have and we also need to move with technology too, because we're relying a lot on technology too, and technology is moving so fast, but we need to adjust some of our ways so that we can make the most out of some of the technology out there.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a real partnership, mate. We've all I can say was that I hope and all these ideas are great, and it's good to exchange ideas, but if it doesn't reflect on a good product on the screen, then they're just ideas. We're just dreaming, because I think hopefully that's really it for me, is that I had to find a place in Fengshen to appreciate the story.
Yeah.
And I think of people like you, my friend, and the other people that I know who'll be watching this film is this like, will I be embarrassed sitting next to them watch it? And my answer has to be no, because Willie's going to watch this.
Yeah.
And my friend Tim's going to watch this.
Yeah.
And the kids I know who are Chinese will be watching it. And
Yes.
and I also want the people I know who are not Chinese to see it and appreciate, because I grew up watching a lot of Chinese cinema.
Yeah.
And so and there's so much richness in watching things that you're not familiar with, because right now we're bombarded with the same old stuff that I was growing up with: Marvel, Superman, Spider-Man, and rest.
Do you think this film will have a big impact in the Western world, or do you think?
Oh, look, I think what will happen, sometimes some things will take legs, and I think one of the things that's happening in the West at the moment is politics is very apparent and very polarizing in terms of people's opinions.
Yeah.
And so, you could say one thing and some people will just shut the door on it. And but I think for the person who's open-minded, who's willing, nothing is to be feared, only understood. And so, I think one of the wonderful things about Fang Shan in its sense, because there's this lot of magic and supernatural part, that's enough for people to find it as an escape, because so many movies now are so trying to preach to you a certain message. And I think for Western audiences, hey, go to the movies and escape to another world for a little bit, for 3 hours or 2 hours. And out of that, you'll hopefully come away going, oh, wow, I did not know that, that there was so much depth in this fantasy film, that I understand Willie better now. Because it is like that, because I know that all the years that you and I have known each other, there's always more to what makes you than the films and the stuff that we talk about.
Yeah. It's a lot of inspiration from Feng Shan for me to study martial arts, legends. I don't know how to call it in English. I don't know how they name it on the script in English. Is the guy with the wing.
Oh yes,
the wingman.
Yes.
So he was my big inspiration at very young age. When I first saw it on TV, I asked my granddad. I said, "Can I have can I make myself with wings?" And my granddad made me, those cardboard, using the cardboard to make 2 wings and put on me, and then I was jumping off the wall with that. That's how I started to attracted to martial arts. I'm so obsessed with the character and how he grew up and how he became a hero. He didn't look good at the start and everybody wanted to get rid of him. But after many years of training, he got he's a big hero. He came back to save the man who saved him at the start. So that story really resonate with myself. And I think it would resonate with all human beings, because I think one good thing about movies is that crosses the cultures. The bridging the cultures is values. So the values that we're all sharing is family, individualism, which I see that film have that. It talks about. I think that one dialogue I remember from the trailer. I haven't watched the film yet, but the trailer said, in English it should be like, who you are is important, other than whose father, whose son you are, whose son you are. Other than that, so you are important. Who you are is important. So that word, that sentence is. Individualism value, which resonate with people around the world, I guess.